Hello and welcome to Dreamwood Rings. It has been a moment, so we have a fun one for you guys today, which is cocobolo wood over tungsten core, and then we are going to have a metal crown surrounded by white, purple, blue, and green opal. Stick around and enjoy! So here is our cocobolo that we have on our metal lathe. And if you've seen our video a few weeks ago, you know that we started using this method to shape our wood. It just is a lot faster this way. If you don't have a metal lathe, then, it's just to the bandsaw that you cut a sliver out, take it to the wood lathe with a soft jaws, get the inside diameter out correct. Here we're just using the digital readout on our metal lathe to get the perfect diameter of the inside of the wood. Perfect. It's in there enough that I can't get it out, so we're gonna have to just shape the outside now. I don't want to go too small because it could rip out as nothing's glued on, and then we will cut it off. So to me, that is just way easier than a bandsaw, so if you have a metal lathe, try it out. I'm going to score the inside of the cocobolo so the adhesive has a little something to stick to. That's with 120 grit sandpaper. And then I'm going to use a black CA glue. I just like the black. It just, between the ring and the wood, makes a really nice finish. And the black is also a rubberized CA, so it has a little bit of give or flex to it as well. And if you spray it with accelerator, it does not turn white. It just cures just like that. Nice thing about the tungsten is we will use our sandpaper and we're just going to sand the edges clean. We don't have to worry about scratching the tungsten core at all. You can do this on the lathe too. If you put the ring on the lathe and then just took your lathe tool to the edges, but it was easy enough to sand. And now I'm getting down to about 2.9 millimeter thickness from the outside to the inside. And here's where it gets fun. We're going to use our fiber laser, 30-watt fiber laser, and we will cut out the crown shape. That makes it scored, so now we just need to pop it out. We do sell letters and numbers and also Viking runes on our website that are like this. So it basically comes scored, and then you just have to pop them out, and you can put them in your own rings as well, and then put the finish or whatever you need over top of it. So check that out on our website. Here we have our little crown. This is now our 30-watt CO2 laser. We're getting the outside diameter of the ring so that we can make sure that the rotary tool spins correctly. And we'll center it. And then I'm going to cut the wood all the way down to the metal. I do this in a few passes just to make sure I don't overburn anything. Now the metal that we cut out, I just made slightly smaller than the wood so that it can fit okay. It is still going to be a tight fit, so it's a bit tricky to get in there. I find either with wire inlay or even this type of inlay, if you can bend the piece so that it is already formed correctly, it's a little easier to put in. And this original piece, I had to go cut another one so that it would fit better. I took 3 things out because we wanted 3 opals on the left, center, and right. So here's where we're going to add white opal. Just completely fill the gap and then take a thin CA. That thin CA will just seep through all of that opal and hold it together, which helps us make sure there's no air bubbles or anything between all of the opal and the glue. So the middle stone we wanted, or the customer wanted green opal, so we're using our lime green opal from our website, and we have everything's from our website. So we have the white opal on our website, and we have this light green opal that looks really great, even once doused in CA glue. We only have about 22 or 23 colors of opal. The reason being, I don't think that all opal is very good for inlays. You lose a lot of color depending on what opal you use, and so if you don't do it correctly, the opal color you put into it may change or adjust just because it's too see-through. So all of the opals that we choose, we try our hardest to make sure that it's not going to change colors once you put it in your inlay and add the glue. And then purple and blue opal on the edges. I'm going to put another drop or 2 of CA over everything, just to make sure everything's sealed up okay. And then I'll give it a little spray with accelerant. Now from here, if you have a wood lathe, you could just sand or use a tool like you would for any other ring. I am going to take it to the metal lathe just to make it more uniform, so I can cut very straight on the metal lathe. Or at least after this initial cut down. I'm just going very slowly, not going too deep. I know we only have about 1 millimeter of aluminum, so we can cut through quite a bit of the aluminum to make sure that it's all free from glue and opal. So here the nice thing is I'm going only 0.1 millimeter at a time, and I'm going to check the crown, because as soon as all of the opal's off the crown, or the metal crown, I'm going to stop, sand a little bit, and then we're going to do finish. So this is just kind of a cut and check after every cut. So we got pretty close. Now just add a little bit of sanding. And this is just 220. We don't want to be too aggressive. You can see the wood on the edge is getting a little thin. That's not too bad right now. It is getting thin, so we need to not be too aggressive with the sanding. I just had to make sure that the crown was completely clear of any scratches or anything like that we didn't miss. Little wipe with some acetone, and then we'll add the CA, the Flex CA, for a finish. So this is about, I don't know, 10 to 15 drops. We just kept adding it. Look how shiny it is. So that looks great. Now we're just going to shape it again. It's 3 millimeters. I think we started with like maybe 2.4 millimeters. So it's about ½ millimeter of CA that we can cut off and make sure that it's shaped exactly how we want it. With the sanding, we're wet sanding 220, 400, 800, and 1500. And then this is Zam polish. I have my dust collector to take all of that dust out of there. And then we want to make sure that we are being aggressive enough to get all the micro scratches out, while also not letting the ring get too hot. You could ruin the finish with the Zam if you let the ring get too hot and the finish overheats, so just be careful with that. Also, the Zam's on our website as well. Comes in 4-ounce sticks. So after polish, we take it to the clean cloth, clean it off, and here's our little crown. I think the cocobolo looks really great with the crown and the aluminum. I think it turned out really nice. It was a fun project, so thanks for sticking around, and I'll see y'all on the next one.